they will be challenged in the second half of the year by Seattle. And
The side chick.
Look, I know a lot of you guys are being very dismissive of Seattle right now, and I think it's fair to be, but Seattle has won 10 games in a row, and they just won both halves of a doubleheader last night. Julio Rodriguez, their young phenom star, has been incredible. I mean, he's going to win the Rookie of the Year. I know we all want it to be Jeremy Pena here, but it's going to be Julio. And they are a team that this year has given the Astros trouble. They have not been a cakewalk like in years past where the Astros would go, 18-1 against Seattle. So, look, I don't think Seattle's going to actually challenge them for the American League West, but I do think that they will be one of the more prickly thorns in their side the rest of the way because they have been playing well of late, and that's the first series coming out of the All-Star break. I will be there, in fact, for the first game of that series.
Fun.
Right. Yeah, so that's next Friday.
Paul Sychik has been hitting the gym.
Oh, yeah, listen.
The Seattle Mariners are getting it done. And Paul, you are the one that created Yankee Watch.
Yes.
Do you think at some point
we
may need a Mariners watch?
It really depends on what happens that first series coming out of the All-Star break. Because the Astros are going to Seattle and they're going to play them again. And thus far this year, I believe the series is evenly split 6-6. The Astros have swept the Mariners once, yes, but the Mariners have won the other three series, 2-1. So I feel like when it becomes perhaps the Mariners trailing by 7 games or less, we could potentially put Mariners watch into the rotation. And that's still a bit of a ways to go. I think the Mariners are now 12.5 back or something like that. But people in Seattle are getting awful chirpy. I'm on a text line with people that I used to work with at 710 ESPN Seattle, and they're all saying no one wants the Mariners. And I would say, well, hang on. Most Astros fans are still holding up their collective noses at the Mariners, who have not done anything at all over the course of their history. But I will say that the one time the Mariners have ever done anything of note was 1995, and they were trailing the Angels, I want to say, by 18 games in the American League West race, and they were able to overtake the Angels ultimately, and they went on to the playoffs, and they beat the New York Yankees in a pretty epic series.
It's been a while. 1995 has been a while ago.
That's for damn
Sean,
sure.
are you scared of the Mariners if the Astros have to play the Mariners?
No.
Wow.
So he just proved your point. Why not?
No, not really. I had to pull up the AL West standings to see, are we hearing footsteps? And they're 11 back.
It's
They
11.
They won 10 in a row, and they're 11 back.
That's closer than I thought. I thought it was 12.5.
Okay. Well, you didn't account for the doubleheader yesterday.
Right, that's true.
They made up a game and a half in one day.
I didn't do the
Maybe
correct
I am
math.
scared now.
So
They
do you
can
do
keep
this?
making back 1.5 games.
Do you do the split jersey if the Astros have to play the Mariners?
I
The AJ Hawk, Brady Quinn.
I have no comment.
But that's a legit thing.
I have no
She's
comment.
Brady Quinn's sister, AJ Hawk's fiance. That's fine. Paul's just
What? I worked in both cities.
you're gonna wear a Boston Red Sox hat.
No,
and
I'm
then
not.
have a split Mariners Astros
I'm
jersey.
I'm not wearing. The only time I will ever wear Red Sox gear is around my godson to make sure that he is raised properly as a New Englander. But as someone who has lived in a million different places and doesn't even know where he's from anymore, it is totally fine for somebody who made good friends with Mariners fans to still support the Mariners in his own way while liking the Astros more.